This is your expressions quiz review where I'll be going over all the questions and the steps to get the correct answers. So if you're making quiz corrections, please make sure that you write down each of the problems that you missed and all of the correct steps and circle your correct answer on a separate sheet of scrap paper and then staple that scrap paper to your quiz and turn it into the tray. All right, number 1. It says, what is the value of the expression 6 plus 5 times the quantity of 8 divided by 2 squared? So you have to follow PEMDAS. So the first thing I'm going to do is solve 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So I'm going to rewrite everything. 6 plus 5 times 4 squared. Okay? No more parentheses, but there is an exponent, 4 squared. That means 4 times 4. So 6 plus 5 times 16. Okay, now we're stuck with multiplication and addition. Multiplication comes first. 16 times 5 is 80. And we just have to add 6, and our final answer to this problem is 86. Number 2, which expression is not equivalent to 216? Which means 3 of these answers, when we solve them, will be 216 and one of them will not. We want the one that is not. So 6 to the third power is 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. So it's not A, because that equals 216. B is the same exact problem, so it's not B. Okay, so then we have to do C, which is 8 times 6 squared. Well, we know 6 times 6 is 36, so this is really 36 times 8. And that can't be 216 because 36 times 6 is 216. So 36 times 8 is something bigger. So this will not equal 216. That is our correct option. For questions 3 and 4, evaluate the expressions below when x equals 8, y equals 3, and z equals 11. So I'm literally just going to replace all of those letters with our numbers, create my own PEMDAS problem, and then we'll solve them. Okay, so parentheses, z was 11 minus y is 3 squared, parentheses, plus 8. Okay, so we need to solve our parentheses first, but within those parentheses we have an exponent. So 3 squared is really 3 times 3, which equals 9. So the subtraction problem is really just 11 minus 9 plus 8. Then we solve our subtraction in our parentheses, which is 2. We get 2 plus 8, and our final answer is 10. All right, number 4, 5x minus 9y plus 2z. That means we're multiplying, okay? So 5 times 8 minus 9 times 3 plus 2 times 11. When the numbers are next to variables and there's no sign, it means to multiply. So now we need to do all of our multiplication before we can subtract and add. 5 times 8 is 40. 9 times 3 is 27. And 2 times 11 is 22. 40 minus 27 is 13. And 13 plus 22 is 35. And there is our final answer. All right, number 5 and number 6 ask us to determine which property is being used below. So number 5, 16 plus 7 plus 9 equals 7 plus 9 plus 16. We're adding, so I'm going to cross off C because that's talking about multiplication. What's happening in number 5 is we're going to all the same places, we're just going in a different order. The way that I taught it in class was I might go to Chick-fil-A, Target, and Kohl's, but then I could also go another day and go to Kohl's, Target, and Chick-fil-A. I went to all the same three places. I just went in a different order. Okay, so we're driving around to separate places, just in different order. Okay, so what that means is that we are commuting. So it's the commutative property of addition. Okay, it's letter A. Number 6, 18 times 1. That means it's still 18. So if I started as an 18, I'm still an 18. If I'm Mrs. Knies solving problem number 1, I'm still Mrs. Knies solving problem number 6. What that means is my identity has not changed. Okay, so it's either B or C, but I have to look at that symbol in the middle, and there's a multiplication sign, so the answer is C. All right, number 7. It says an expression is shown below. Which of the following statements is not true? Okay, not true. A, 7x plus 9, or 7x, 9y, and 14 are all terms in the expression. Are those all things in the problem? Yes. So it's not A, because that's true. 7 is the coefficient of x. That means that 7 has to be the number sitting in front of the letter x. That is also true. 9 is the coefficient of y. Okay, 9 is the number sitting in front of the letter y, so that's also true. D, x, y, and 14 are all variables in the expression. Variables are letters. And last time I checked, 14 is not a letter. So this is not true, so it is D. All right, number 8, it says, which of the following expressions does not have the same value as if we solve that problem listed in the example? So what we need to do is solve this problem, get an answer, and then 3 of the answer choices should have the same answer and 1 will not, and we want the one that does not. So solving inside my parentheses first. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, because 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So our parentheses is really just 27 plus 13. Okay, so it's still 56 minus, now we solve it, 27 plus 13 is 40. 56 minus 40 is 16. So 3 of these answers should be 16, and one of them is not, and we want the one that is not. All right, so solving letter A. I got to do 12 plus 16 first, and I get 28. Okay, so now it's just 92 minus 28 divided by 4. So 92 minus 28 is 64. 64 divided by 4 is 16. So it's not A, because we want the one that's not the same. B, 6 squared is 36. 36 plus 4 plus 5. 36 plus 4 is 40. 40 plus 5 is 45. Last time I checked, 45 and 16 are not the same answer. So B is the answer we are looking for. All right, 9 and 10, we are finding the area. Okay, it gives us the formula, A equals B times H, which we know is the same thing as area equals length times width. All right, base and height are just replacement letters. Okay, so all we're going to do is multiply our length and our width and find the area and label it correctly. Remember, I told you, if you do not label your answers correctly, you will lose points. So what I'm going to do is 4.5 times 7 and solve that. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 carry the 3. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 31. Then I have a decimal point up in this problem, and I look and I only see one digit after, so I got to bring it in one spot. So it's there. So it's 31.5 feet squared. Remember, anytime we label area, It's always whatever the units are squared. All right, number 10. A farmer is enclosing a square area for his pigs as shown below. Use the formula A equals S squared to find the area. People were confused on this, but for no reason. It just changed the formula on us because we know squares have sides that are all the same length. So it's just telling us to square it instead of saying base times height because they're all the same numbers, okay? So 8 squared is the same thing as 8 times 8, and our answer is 64 feet squared. Okay, if you did not label it feet or squared, then you missed points, even if your math was correct. You have to label your units. All right, number 11, what is the value of the expression below? PEMDAS, we gotta solve our parentheses first. So it's 47 plus 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then we rewrite our divide by 2. So now I'm going to solve my top. 47 plus 5 is 52. And we still have our divide by 2. And our final answer is 26. 52 divided by 2 equals 26. All right, number 12. Which of the following represents 5 to the 4th in expanded form? Remember, 5 to the 4th means we're multiplying our big number this many times. So our correct answer was B, big number 4 times being multiplied together.